let me ask you this.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Was it better than you expected? Going into
yes,
it.
Yes, 100%.
Me too.
150,000%. My expectations were not high. Like, I really, like, just strictly because, like, Kanye's a wild dude. If you didn't know, he's all over the place. I don't know, man. I don't know what state of mind he was in making this album. Whatever state of mind he's in usually influences his projects or whatever. Like, and he just didn't seem very put together the past, like, going through a divorce, all this stuff. Like, man's he's had a crazy year, and then plus you factor in, pandemic, all this stuff. It affects people differently, right?
It's been a funky year for everyone.
Sure has been. So I didn't know what to expect. Like, and he just seemed kind of crazy at this point. I mean, and it's Kanye. He's kind of always been crazy, right? But
like a weird crazy.
Yeah.
Like, not like just like crazy like musicians are.
Yeah.
But like, okay, what's actually going on with Kanye?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's he really up to? What's Kanye really doing right now with this project? Come on!
Yeah, like, I didn't expect it to be so put together and so thought out. Like, I knew it'd be thought out, but I really thought it was just going to be like Kanye's off his rocker. He's going to do some wild stuff with his album.
Just
like,
trying to get
no
numbers.
disrespect.
But
but this album was it was very put together. For 27 tracks, like, you could call it, I'm sure some people thought that was too much. And even, like, some tracks are like, okay, maybe this didn't need to be here, whatever. But, like, honestly, for the most part, this is one of the first times I've ever seen an album of this size. I'm like, I actually like almost every track in it. And, like, it didn't feel like it was all filler and he just wanted to get a bunch of songs out there. It seemed like everyone was pretty thought out. And it was structured so well. And that's what caught me off guard the most is, like, I expected, like I said, I thought Kanye was just going to drop some random stuff. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what he was doing. Like, I didn't even know if the album was even going to be called Donda or not. I remember hearing rumors about it. I wasn't sure, like, what is he actually dropping this thing? Like, up until, like, right when he started doing the live shows of it, I didn't even know, like, he was even going to drop this year. I really thought it was all rumors. And you never know with him because this dude is notorious for never dropping his albums when he says he's going to.
Yes.
Case in point with this one, like, it got delayed, like, I don't know about you. I don't think you did, but I didn't listen to, like, any of the leaked stuff from his live shows.
Nothing.
So I didn't want to be spoiled. I wanted to hear it, like, in its full form.
We did that for you.
Yeah, for you, for the people who are listening to this right now, for Trap Nation.
Yep. And I've seen stuff for Utopia too, some unreleased
really?
Utopia, and I'm like, I ain't gonna do it.
Holding off, man. It's
ain't
hard.
Gonna happen.
It's hard, but we gotta have the good content, the live raw content.
Live raw content.
Yeah, but so yeah, it was supposed to drop like I think like 3 Fridays in a row, and then randomly dropped on like a Tuesday or something. I don't even remember when it dropped. Something I didn't know it came out. Like the day that it dropped until like halfway through, I came over. I was hanging out with you, and you're like, "Oh, Donda dropped." And I was like, "What?"
It dropped in like, at least here at like 8 a.m.
Yeah,
is what I heard. Like I woke up and like I was checking it all night because I seeing on Twitter that it was supposed to drop. Like, okay, it's actually gonna drop this time. So I was like checking it, and I woke up and I was like, "Hey,
there it is,
Donda." So I was like,
"Yeah,
dope."
Yeah, dude, it's funny because like. I saw it was such a big project, and my expectations still weren't that high. Like, I listened to a couple tracks, but like it probably was like at least 2 or 3 days after it dropped that I really actually listened to it. Like, so I've seen everybody talk about it, and I couldn't relate because I didn't know anything about it. But once I finally did, like, just sat down, and just grinded through every song. Like,
well, it is an intimidating album.
It is
because you open it up. Like, I opened it up, and I was like, 27 tracks. Shit. It's gonna take forever. It's an hour. I wanted it hour and 48 minutes.
Yeah, and it doesn't list what songs have features, so you don't know what to expect.
It still doesn't.
Yeah, it still does not.
2 weeks later, it's still like.
Come on.
Still trying to figure out. Come on. Still trying to figure out.
Baby.
Kanye, baby.
What's a guy got to do for a feature list? Come on.
But like for real though,
literally, it's in the album cover is just a blank black screen, so you can't even like look at the cover and get a vibe of like, oh, what kind of album is this? I mean, you can never really tell with the Kanye album cover, anyways. But there's nothing. He doesn't give us anything to work with. Just 27 songs. You can see which ones are like starred, at least on Apple Music. So I know
not
what
even
the
on
popular
Spotify.
ones are. So
you
you're
don't
just
even
going
know.
to this like, dude, what? And I bet like if you didn't know there was features or anything like that. like if you were an absolute like living under a rock, like ever before the whole hype of this, and you listen to it the first time, you'd be so caught off guard hearing like Cardi on like 2 different songs, Jay-Z, Travis, the list goes on. Lil Yachty, dude, Griselda, Kid Cudi, Don Toliver.
Very impressive.
It's probably
feature
even like
list.
yeah, it kept going.
Oh my gosh,
kept going.
Put Certified Lover Boy's features to shame.
Yeah, and it's funny because it had a lot of the same one, at least like Cudi, Travis, Jay-Z, and I feel like maybe a couple more. I'm not sure, but they all performed way better on Donda.
It sounded like they wanted to be on Donda. It sounded like they got paid to be on Certified Lover Boy, but they wanted to be on Donda.
Facts. Like, yeah, honestly, here, I guess it's a good time to get into some of the tracks that we like. Cause, like,
that's right.
I know there's even more. Like,
this is going to be a lot longer of a list than the Certified Lover Boy.
Listen, these are like my 5 or 6 favorites, but it doesn't mean I don't like the rest of them. I just had to put together a list like 2 seconds before we started this podcast, and I had to rush it out. But Remote Control is probably my favorite so far. The melody on it, the beat, everything about it. The Young Thug feature is insane. I love the part where they have that weird like vote. I don't know what you call it, like a weird vocal. You know that part where it's got like that weird. I'll show it to you after this. Yes. I don't even know. The beat, everything, and it pisses me off because Kid Cudi was on the original version of the song.
You showed me that right before,
and it was amazing, but he's not on it right now. I don't know why. I've heard like Donde. I've heard like Donda was still kind of rushed out, and there might be more changes to it, or maybe a deluxe. I don't know, because you could even see that
Kanye, when the deluxe come?
Kanye, you need my slap. Donda deluxe. I don't know. Maybe he'll update it, and Kid Cudi will be on the Remote Control. I don't know, but it's really disappointing that wasn't on it. Even without him though, still probably like my favorite song on the album.
Oh yeah,
I really like Keep My Spirit Alive, that with Westside Gunn, Conway the Machine, like that one. I love both of those artists.
Yes.
And hearing them on a Kanye track, like kind of has like a gospel-y feel. That's kind of the general feel of the album. It's just really cool. It's just a different vibe, not what I expected at all.
Yep.
But they killed it. It's kind of the first half of the album is like very more feature heavy than the second half, and it's kind of like, and then like halfway, I would say like roughly halfway through, or at least like the last 10 tracks, kind of go in this more like very like not even instrumental based, but like kind of they go for like more of like a
really spiritual
like or gospel-y vibe with like the organs. Like the tracks are more like kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for. The beginning there's some hard ones, like the features are going in, like
it really is like a new generation of gospel music.
Yeah.
Like it's literally if gospel music was invented in 2021.
Straight up.
It's like,
yeah.
That's the best way I can put it. I don't know.
But yeah, it kind of tones out, and then the end of the album is just kind of like, it's structured so well. Like I said, I still can't really think of the word I'm looking for to describe it. But yeah, I love a lot of the songs in the second half. I liked a lot. Jesus Lord, that one was nice. No Child Left Behind.
No Child
Moon
Left
with
Behind.
That beautiful Don Toliver and Kid Cudi.
Okay, I just want to say, Don Toliver is growing into such an awesome and unique artist. He started off strong, he's just he keeps getting better.
He's evolving.
He keeps he's got a funky voice.
He does.
And he needs a specific track to sound really good on, but I feel like the more music that he puts out, the more flexible he is with his instrumentals. The more different styles he can hit. He's becoming
more versatile as an artist. You can see the growth.
Yes.
From his tracks that blew him up, all of that that same flow we always joke about.
Yeah.
You were all my friends. That's it. No, he's literally he's changed his sound. Not really his sounds changed, but just his ability to spit.
Yeah.
It's just more versatile now. And hearing him on a song like that, it was just beautiful. His voice definitely is interesting. Nothing like I've ever heard, but it's cool hearing him on a Kanye West track,
really cool. And I think
go ahead.
That a big part of it is the longer he's been around, the more artists are gonna hear him, and they're gonna make stuff kind of tailored to his it's almost like a nasally voice. Almost it's kind of I don't know. When I want to sound like Don Toliver, I just kind of choke my throat, plug my nose, and it's like it's Don Toliver, but like
it sounds like if Travis Scott had COVID, dude. He
yeah,
goes to the booth and starts recording. Like he's got that nasally, nice auto-tune voice.
it's like if Travis Scott got kicked in the nuts, and it's just like
yeah. But I like it, and he did his thing on this. And Kid Cudi, no, I feel like don't even have to even talk about it. Just listen to the song, and you just got that beautiful Kid Cudi voice. Pretty much all there is to be said. Yep. I really liked, of course, like Off the Grid, one of the biggest ones. That one was so cool because that's probably this track I like least expected. Like one that has Playboy Cardi already caught me off guard. I know Kanye like was executive producer on Whole Lotta Red, so I knew they had that connection, but still wasn't expecting to hear because Cardi's like he's almost kind of like Kanye that you don't know what he's up to and you don't know like. Does he even do features anymore? Like, what is he?
it's hard to expect something from him.
Yeah, exactly. So hearing him on not one but two songs.
And
Off the Grid where it just switches to a drill beat halfway through, and then you got Fabio Foreign just coming in spit on it like that. I was not expecting at all. That was a wild song.
I think that's my favorite song.
Yeah,
I think
it's hard.
It might. Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't know if I even have a favorite track yet because there's like 3 or 4 that could be my favorite right now. And that just goes to say like how much like the album is just it's grown on me.
Yeah.
Like when I first listened through it, it was kind of hard to like listen all the way through it because I mean I went on a bike ride and I was like, all right, we're just gonna. It was at like 2:00 in the morning after I got off of work. I was like, okay, it's quiet, no one's out, it's cold. I've got my headphones in, I'm going for a bike ride, and I was like, it was cool, and it was weird, and it was like,
like what?
I was like, what is this? Like, what's the point of this album? And then like, but it's one of those where you can't listen to it one time and make an opinion.
Opposite of Drake.
It's exactly, yeah. And so the more I listened to it, like I said before we even started, the more I listened to it, like just the more stuff you pick out from each track. Oh my gosh, like he used 4 different organs in one of these tracks.
Yeah.
Like who does that? Kanye does
that. And I guess to branch off that, what we were talking about with Drake is like his past like 3, at least in my opinion, past 3 albums have all sounded like they're in the same category of Drake. This Kanye album is just like, it's got elements of stuff he's dropped before.
Yes.
I think for me, it's like Jesus is King wasn't probably my least favorite Kanye album, honestly. And this album took like, kind of like that spiritual gospel-y element of it, but actually like branched out more with it, had good features, and actually nailed down the production. And he nailed down like the way he approaches rapping on it. It's just like took everything that flopped in his last album and made it good in this one. Like, and then you hear elements of Life of Pablo in it and the production. Hell, even like some 808s and Heartbreaks, Graduation vibes a bit. Like
some Yeezus in there.
Definitely some Yeezus. Like you can just hear like I love how Kanye he always approaches his albums so differently. Like none of them are the same or even close, but they all still kind of have correlation.
There's still like that Kanye like this is wild, but I mess with it.
Yeah. Like you could tell like this is like you can see the elements of some of his other stuff, but it's not like a carbon copy. It's more just like inspiration from different projects. But then it's still so new. Like I really think he's kind of starting like this is the sound of Donda is like unlike anything I've heard. Like I really think like he's probably starting a wave of different types of production right now. Like it's just so well done.
He's got to be. There's got to be a new wave of like new gospel music. Like I'm like not from like any particular artist. Like if anyone who's relevant right now that's gonna drop a gospel album that I would expect, I would say either Kid Cudi or Travis. Even though they're not like super spiritual dudes, like
they still could
hit that sound so well, especially Cudi. He could hit that just like that. Just those like the organs, the dark authentic drums, and
like it just all sounds so authentic and like real. And that's like one of the biggest things about Kid Cudi's music. Man on the Moon 2, like just those 2 albums.
Man on the Moon 3.
Yeah, Man on the Moon 3. Like, all of those and his other ones, like you can just, especially the first one, you can just hear how like He's rapping from the heart, man.